All right, so let's talk about the Web Security Academy. This I highly recommend. You could easily spend days in here and it'd be nice. So first you join the Academy. You just go to a web page and sign up the way you'd sign up for Gmail or anything else. It's a free training environment, which we're going to use. And then you have to get Burp. Burp installs on any operating system. It works just fine. And I'm going to start it here. I've got it running on my Mac. You don't need a virtual machine or anything. This is the #1 pen testing tool. This is what people use to assess the vulnerability of websites and to earn bug bounties. And all security analysis of websites is primarily done with Burp. It's the multi-purpose web hacking tool. And it's starting up here, running a little slow probably because I'm streaming so much, but here it comes. Okay, when Burp launches, it gives you an introductory page, and there are some ways to make projects, but you only get that if you make the pay version. The pay version of Burp costs something like $300, but the free version is very nice. That's all I've ever used. The pros pay for the pay version, but the free version gives you 90% of the functionality, and it's enough for me and my students. So you just start Burp with the default settings. All right, and it's coming, like I say, just a little bit slower than usual on my machine because my machine is heavily burdened right now with Zoom and Twitch. There it comes. All right, here's Burp. Let me just get this introductory screen out of the way. And here's the actual main screen of Burp, which is where you're going to spend almost all your time when using the Web Security Academy. Let me get rid of this update. I don't care about the update right now. I'm happy with this version. All right, Burp has several tabs, which can be confusing. The first thing you have to do when you start Burp is go to the Proxy tab and turn off Intercept. Intercept blocks all your web traffic so you can examine it and alter it, and so you can't use the internet in Burp with this on, so you start with Intercept turned off. Now you can open a browser. This will open a Chromium browser, which is connected to send its traffic through Burp. So it'll take a few seconds to launch. Okay. And waiting for my machine to respond. It's freezing up on me a little bit just from being slow. Okay, so this is the Burp browser, which is just a Chromium browser, nothing different than your other browsers. The only thing special about it is it's connected to Burp. So if I go to, say, samsclass.info here, okay, it loads up the page. You can go in Burp and look in the history, and you see every request and every reply. Now, some YouTube stuff is going on in the background for some reason. I think I got YouTube in other windows here to upload videos. And there it is, samsclass.info. Here's the GET request that loaded my page. Here's the request, and here's the response from the server, containing a bunch of HTML, and then it made other requests to my server for more pieces like the Mastodon posts on my page and so on. This is what Burp does. It lets you see every request and every response, and you can modify them. That's what you do. So the first thing to get this working is you go to a certain page on my server where I have some hidden content that you can see in Burp. You'll be able to find a flag by going to this page. It doesn't show up in the browser, but it does show up in Burp. And so that just shows you have Burp running. And the reason you want to do all this is to use the Web Security Academy. So let me show you that. I've added it to my favorites in here. There we are. That's it, Portswigger. And hopefully I'm still logged in. Okay, I'm going to have to get my username and password, which are appalling. When you join Portswigger, they assign you a username and password, which is like 25 punctuation marks. So it'll take me a minute to get mine. My password manager has logged out, so I have to go to their website and log in. Log in is good. Okay. Oh, Looks like I am logged in. But somehow I can't get there from here. Oh, now I'm in. Good. Okay. Now I should be able to find my Portswigger. There's my Portswigger. Okay. I've got a couple accounts here. It's free, so they don't care if you make more than one. Okay. So here's one of my accounts. And here is the unbelievable password they give you, which is like 25 punctuation marks. They are not messing around with the security. Not that it matters. I mean, there's no credit card here or anything. It's just... All right, so now I'm in. Now I can go to Academy. And I can go to All Labs. All right, and in here you find various labs. And for example, one thing they have here is command injection. Let's try that. Oh, let's do directory traversal. That's probably the best one to start with. Here's directory traversal. So you go down here and there are some labs. And you launch the lab here. Well, you launch the instructions here, and I like to put it in another tab. So here's the instructions for this challenge, and you access the lab here, and when you open this, it's going to launch your own container, your own machine to hack into that's different than everybody else's. It only stays up for about a half hour or something. If you're too slow, it can time out and you have to relaunch it, but usually it's fine. And that's why I think it's wonderful. Your students don't need to install anything. It shows you a website. So there's a vulnerability in this website. And if you go here, they tell you it contains a file path traversal vulnerability in the display of project images. To solve the lab, retrieve the contents of etc password. And there is a complete solution here that will tell you what to do step by step. So use Burp sweep to intercept and modify a request that fetches a product image. Now I don't like to do it that way. Let me show you how I'm going to do it. If I go to Burp Suite, I've already loaded this page and you see it loaded some images. So I could hunt through the requests and find the request that loaded the image. But what I find is a lot easier is to clear this, clear all the old data with clear history, and say yes. And now load just an image. Then I'll have one simple request so I don't have to hunt through a lot of junk. I'm just going to right-click and open Image in New tab. So there's a request that loaded an image. If I go here, I don't see it, and that's because the filter says hiding CSS image and general content. So I have to click on that and tell it to stop hiding images. So I put a check mark by images and apply. And now I see a request to load the image. So if I click on that, I'll see down here how it works, and I can already see what the issue is. It's getting image file name equals 25.jpg. This is a classic situation where you have a directory traversal. It feeds up the file name, and maybe I can use .. to move to a different file. And an easiest way to exploit this kind of thing is to use the repeater. I have a request here that got a response from the server, and I want to modify it. I can't modify the history because that's already happened, but I can make a copy of this request by right-click, send to repeater. And now on the repeater, I can modify it. So if you look at the challenge, it said you're trying to access this file, .. // password. So I copy that and I put that in instead of this name of the image. I get rid of 25.jpg and I put in that stuff instead. And if it's going to let me put in a file name like that, I'll be traversing to that password file. So I send that, and here's the response, and this is what the password file looks like on Linux. So it worked, and if I go back to here, it should tell me I won, which is not popping up here, but anyway, in principle it should. I've already solved this one, so maybe it's not going to pop up again. But that's the point. That's what you do. You find nice instructions, and there are easy ones in here, and there are harder ones, and there are very hard ones. And there's more than 100 challenges. It's a wonderful learning environment. Your students don't have to install anything, and it's very nice. So that's what I wanted to show you, and I highly recommend making an account here, installing Burp, and starting to do these, and I'll demonstrate more of these after lunch. So I'm going to stop this.